What's up guys, today I'm going to be doing a review of the MySpeedBar Speedbag Platform. Stay tuned. So we have the MySpeedBar Portable Speedbag Platform here today. I'll give you guys a little bit of a close-up of this, and this is a portable speed bag platform that doesn't require any kind of drilling. It uses these two commercial grade suction cups to mount to the wall. There are a couple things you do have to be aware of, which I'll show you here in a little bit in the review once I have this connected to the wall. But just to kind of show you, it all uses steel construction. You can see here that it has kind of a powder coated black finish. The actual suction cups, you can see, has two 9/16. One's a nut, and you have a machine screw on the other side that holds the suction cup to this plate. And then it has these two horizontal stabilizer bars, one right here and one right here, that actually can be adjusted using these two set screws. And the rubber feet right here is what actually sits against the wall, so it prevents the speed bag platform from swaying side to side. And then underneath, you can choose the finish or the color of the platform itself that the speed bag will bounce off of. So you can see here, I just went with the natural kind of the honeywood look to it. This is also screwed or mounted to the bottom of the metal on both sides. And then you do have the actual swivel right here for the speed bag itself. And it includes these Everlast Everhide speed bag. This is actually included when you purchase the entire platform. And you can see it just uses a standard U-clip with the cotter pin that connects to this. So I'll show you how it works, but just wanted to kind of give you guys a little close-up of it before we mount it to the wall and see it in action. So here it is. This is the mobile speed bag platform. So let's go ahead and do the review. Hey, what's up guys? So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this to my garage door that you see right here. This is a pretty much standard garage door that's made out of wood. It has some paint on it that has a little bit of a texture to it, so it'll stick okay. But the best surfaces to stick this onto, which is really for any kind of suction cup, is a really nice, clean, smooth surface, like a metal surface, plexiglass, like a hard plastic surface, glass. It'll stick to, and it has to be sturdy because once you start hitting the speed bag, it's going to have a lot of vibration. So the best thing to do, obviously, is if you have a nice slick surface. If you do have drywall like I do have here in my garage, it's not going to stick to a flat surface drywall like this. There's no way that the suction is going to make suction. So if you're in that situation, you might have to go to like the hardware store, like Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever the hardware store is in your area, and maybe drill a piece of like plexiglass or something smooth that this suction cup will stick to. That way you can mount it to wherever you want to in your garage. Actually mounting this, all you have to do is get a little bit of water to moisten the actual suction cups right here to clean it off, and put a little bit of moisture right there on the suction cups. And what that does is it provides suction on the surface that you put it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I put it up. Obviously the suction cup, you want it to be high enough to where when the bag is installed, it's right kind of at nose level. So I'm gonna stick mine right about here, kind of wipe the surface too that it's gonna go on, to make sure that the surface is nice and clean. And then you just kind of push it against there. And then it has just the two suction levers that you push up and you lock it in place. So that's it. Two suction cups, one on top, one on the bottom. That's what's basically holding this entire thing together. It does come with this bungee safety cord with this metal L bracket. And the point of this is to put it over the door for safety reasons. So if you're hitting this and for some reason this loses suction, this safety bungee cord will catch it from falling and breaking or hitting or injuring somebody. So you want to make sure that you open the door and then just slide that little safety bracket over and then close the door again. That way you make sure that it doesn't fall and break or injure somebody that's underneath it. So you have that all connected. Make sure the suction is good. You can kind of jiggle it to see if it moves up and down or side to side. If you have issues with it having any side to side horizontal movement, it comes with the little rubber feet I showed you earlier in the close-up. that you can adjust using the little set screws right here to adjust that. And I'll show you that here in a little bit. And then next, it comes with this Everhide speed bag, pretty standard, cheap synthetic leather speed bag. And then it has the actual speed bag clip with this cotter pin. So all that does is just slides right out. The pin comes right out, and it's pretty universal. You can get this really on any website, any boxing website, or even on Amazon. And from here, it actually connects to the speed bag itself, or the speed bag swivel, excuse me. So that just slides in there, kind of line it all up. That will go right through. And from here, the cotter pin goes in, and that's pretty much it. So let's do a little quick overview of it close up to see how it looks, and then we'll go ahead and start hitting it and see how it performs. So I have everything mounted up on the door now, just to show you guys how everything looks when it's fully installed. This speed bag platform includes everything you see here, including the Everhide bag, and everything is $249. So pricing wise, it's kind of right there in the medium tier of speed bag platforms. The big advantage it obviously has is going to be the fact that you don't have to drill into the wall. You can use the suction cups. The downside to that, you have to have the proper surface for those suction cups to connect to, otherwise it's just going to keep falling off the wall when you hit it, and you're not going to be able to hit it fast and hard like you want to and gain some rhythm and speed. So there's some drawbacks to having it, but there's some advantages too. Obviously, with it being mobile, you can also lower it. So if you have children in the house that you want to have hit the speed bag, you don't have to worry about re-drilling holes and remounting it to the stud in the wall and just putting a bunch of holes all over your wall. And so that's a big advantage that the suction cups have. So what's included is obviously this Everhide speed bag. This is the 9x6 speed bag. One thing you have to keep in mind too with the speed bag platform is that it doesn't have that big circular piece of wood. So another thing that I guess you can consider a drawback with this is that you can only hit it standing in front of it, like I'm standing here. You can't go to the side because obviously you don't have anything for the bag to hit. So it has to hit in one direction only, back and forth. So that to me is kind of a drawback because you can't move around the bag and hit it like you'd like to. So you have to kind of stand in front of it. The other thing, when you're buying a bag, so if you're not going to use this Everlast 9x6, most bags should fit it, but you want to make sure that the belly right here in this middle is the belly of the bag hits against the wood when it rebounds, because if it's too short or too big, it might extend past this platform on both sides and it might not get the bounce. You can also see how close it is to the back suction cup right here. You have, I'd say, maybe a half an inch, maybe an inch max. So if the speed bag is larger than this 9x6 Everhide bag, it's definitely going to hit that suction cup handle. So you have to get at least, this is probably the biggest size you can get, is this 9x6, and maybe a little bit smaller. So do keep that in mind. If you are going to go with a different size speed bag and switch it out, the size does make a big difference because of that. It's not like your standard platforms where it's one big solid piece of wood, and you can go with really any size because you have all of that area that the speed bag can bounce against. And then you have really this nice chrome swivel right here that looks really good. That's all mounted to this piece of wood. Everything feels really sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels really high quality. The wood feels really nice. It's all real wood, hardwood there. It's not fake, cheap balsa wood. It's really nice. You can see the steel construction, and it has those two horizontal stabilizer arms. And then right here, if you have too much side to side flexing and you have these rubber feet that go against the door, you can actually adjust the feet by unscrewing this and expanding this leg out a little bit more so that it really pushes against the door or the wall that you have it connected to. Then you have the suction cups right there with the handles. That's actually mounted to the metal bracket. And then lastly is going to be that safety restraint that you put over the door. One big thing about that is if you're not mounting it to the door, then you're going to have to kind of fabricate something for that hook to hook onto, because if you connect it to like the wall like I have here, just a standard wall in your garage, then that hook has really nothing to latch onto. So now you're going to have to drill into the wall for that safety restraint, because the last thing you want is to hit this and for this thing to just drop and lose suction and then break or fall and hit somebody. So that's pretty much it. So you have the wood, the horizontal stabilizers, the actual frame, the suction cups, the safety restraint, and obviously the speed bag itself. So you can see here, I have it about nose level where it needs to be, and I'm gonna go hit it and show you guys how it performs with everything that's included. So let's go ahead and hit the speed bag, see how it performs in action, and then we'll go over some of the pros and the cons of the speed bag and tell you what I think in it, you know, whether or not it's worth the buy. So let's go ahead and hit this. All right, so you can see how it performs, how it rebounds, kind of the speed that I can go at. The nice thing is, obviously, like I discussed earlier, is it's portable. You can mount it really anywhere. The drawbacks I find with this is going to be the platform that it hits. I can only stand in front of it and hit it this way. Obviously, I have nothing else around it to hit or for the bag to rebound in against. One other thing is, if you hit it just a little bit off center, and it rebounds, you have to find your balance again. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just kind of teaches you to keep everything nice and straight. But it's also nice to have a round platform to where you can work around the bag and not be stationary just in front of it in one spot. The other thing is the vibration. So this definitely still has vibration, and there's no way to correct that. And by that I mean, when you go to the gym and you have one of the more, I guess, lower end or even the mid-range speed bag platforms, if there's vibration and it's mounted to like the wall using screws, is actually like mounted into the stud or the concrete wall. A lot of times what gyms will do is they'll get like a weight plate or something, they'll put it on top of the platform. That way it puts a lot of weight on it and it reduces the vibration. You can't do it with this because it just uses suction cups. So the suction cup's definitely not going to hold a 45-pound, weight plate, because it's going to rip the suction cup right off the door or the wall that you have it mounted to. So you're definitely going to have to live with a little bit of vibration. And so for those of you that want something that's like solid, where you hit it and it literally there's no vibration, like a commercial grade speed bag platform, you're not going to get it with this. You're still going to get some vibration. So that's another kind of a drawback, is the vibration thing. Limited with where you can hit it. And then lastly, if you're anywhere that's 100 degrees Fahrenheit and hotter, I don't know what that converts to in Celsius, where, if you're overseas and you use that unit of measurement for your temperature. But here in Phoenix, it gets to like 120 degrees Fahrenheit in the summertime for a couple of months. Anywhere between 100 to 120 kind of goes in between that. And what I noticed is when I had this mounted on the door, over a period of time, it actually would lose suction and fall off, because it gets so hot in the garage that the suction cup is made out of rubber and it actually becomes too soft and it just loses suction. So if you're in a really hot climate, you can still use it like I showed you here, but when you're done using it, I would definitely recommend to take it off the door or off the wall, because it'll probably lose suction and fall off. And if you don't have that safety restraint mounted to whatever it's mounted to, then this is going to fall on the ground and break, or even worse, it might fall and hit somebody. So keep in mind, if you're in a really hot climate, it might fall off, and so it's best just when you're done using it to remove it. I find that kind of an issue for convenience. If you have it mounted in your home, I feel like for me, like I want to just mount it, use it, and not have to worry about it. I shouldn't have to okay, now I got to unhook it and put it on the floor or put it on the table and put it up when I got to use it again. I feel like I should be able to mount it with suction cups, use it whenever I want to, and just step away and not have to worry about unhooking it from the door. But that's That might work if you're in a cooler climate to where the suction just stays on and you're good to go. But in the hotter climate, I would definitely be careful and remove it. So whether or not it's worth it to purchase this for the price of $249, obviously it includes everything you see here. And if you're in an area where you can't drill into the wall, and you definitely want to get yourself a SpeedBag platform, then yes, I think it's worth it. I think it's really nice, a nice build, quality components, nice suction cup. The platform is made out of wood, steel for the frame, nice swivel, okay bag. You know, obviously you can switch the bag out and get your own bag, which I'm going to end up doing. But if not, then no. I think if you have a garage like myself and you don't mind drilling into the stud, or if you have stud, cinder block, concrete, whatever you have in your home, and you can drill into it and mount a more permanent thing and go that route, I would do that personally, because I wanna feel like it's permanently affixed to the home. As far as not having to worry about the suction come off, especially here in hotter temperatures. The drawback obviously is if I need to bring it lower for my son to hit it, then that kind of sucks, because now I can't bring it down. That's where the advantage of this speed bag comes into play. Is you can really put it wherever you want height wise and move it. But if you're looking for something professional grade that you really want to just hit as fast as you can, you don't want any rebound, you want a full circle slab of wood where you can move around it, then you're probably better off getting spending a little bit of money and getting yourself more of a commercial grade speed bag platform. I think they have some that start at like $300 on up. I'm not talking about the cheapo ones from like Everlast or even the big entry-level Title stuff. The one that actually has a 2 to 3 inch thick piece of wood for the platform, and you have to mount it into the studs, and when you hit it, you can really go fast with it. That would probably be the way to go. I love the idea of this. I just feel like it's a little limited in the fact that obviously the platform is not all the way around. You can only use a certain kind of bag size-wise. If you go too big, it might be too far out. If you go too small, the belly of the bag might not hit the center of this wood. And then obviously the suction cups is a great idea when you have the proper surface for it to mount to. So that's a big question mark. So before you purchase this, if you are looking to get this, make sure you look around where you live to see if you can even mount it. And if you can't, is there any way to modify your home or your garage or wherever you're going to be putting it in so that it can mount to that? Because if you can't, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of getting this in the beginning, in the first place. So do keep that in mind. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find this MySpeedBar Speedbag Platform. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.